Today's video is sponsored by Boxu. Check the link in the description box below and use code NERDYCRAFTER10 to save 10% off, that's up to $47, on your own Japanese snack subscription box. Also makes an awesome gift. Hey Greens, and welcome to the first episode of Don't You Lie to Me, the show where we're going to be looking at art and craft hacks and debunk whether or not they are true or they are going
in the trash.
You know the trash was gonna come somewhere. Don't pretend like you didn't know I was not gonna throw something eventually in the garbage, because that's what we do here. Today we're going to be testing out 7 Crayola craft and art hacks. And these hacks are brought to us by our favorite channel, 5 Minute Crafts. And it's this video over here. As you can see, this is the thumbnail and the title that they use. For those of you who don't know 5 Minute Crafts, they are a huge channel here on YouTube that really just focuses on recycling their own content, but they're also really well known here in the YouTube community to be sometimes misleading and dangerous. So basically they do lie about their content just to make it look good. There are entire channels that are dedicated to debunking them. So if you're interested in seeing some of those, I will link them down below. And so of course, when they want to show us that we can use Crayolas in different ways, I am like, I need that, because Crayola and I are best friends. In the trash!
In the trash!
One of the reoccurring craft hacks that happens quite often in this video, just in different forms, is making Crayola crayons into a candle. I actually spent an entire video trying to do a different ratio of just Crayola with actual candle wax to see whether or not this method works. If you're interested in watching that video, I will link it down below. So today we're not going to be doing any of that. We're going to start with the first video, which is turning Crayola into nail polish. But before we do that, for those of you new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, otherwise I may wave a sharp pointy thing. And if you don't pay attention, I may actually wave both if you don't click on all notifications while you're there. So let's go back to that thumbnail that really caught my attention. This thumbnail for this video shows Crayolas and a rainbow slime, and I'm like, I want to make it. But if there's anything that you know about 5 Minutes Crafts is that they are liars. And they break them a heart. And every time a craft kit or a channel, they break them a heart, all I do is cry and I cry. And then eventually I get over it and I get
really salty about it.
All this to say that I watched the entire video and nowhere do they actually make slime. So yes, they clickbaited us. So I did use the thumbnail because I wanted to show you what 5 Minute Crafts does to us, okay? That's all. I wanted to put it out there ASAP. So the first DIY is basically taking Crayola crayons, breaking them apart, melting them, so I'm guessing it's going to go into the microwave, and then pouring clear nail polish in there, mixing it all up and using it to color your fingers. I really have no idea how this is going to be beneficial instead of just buying colored nail polish, but let's see. It's probably going to be very gross, that's my guess. So I went ahead and picked up a clear nail polish, and I think I want a super kind of darkish color. So I'm going for blue and purple. I want to put these two colors together because the purple has some kind of glitter. So I was figuring, you know what, why not? And instead of using a glass bowl that I'm going to end up throwing out because I don't want Crayola residue all over my bowls, I have a disposable, takeout, microwavable safe bowl. That's what we're using. Let me know in the comment section below if you think this hack or any of the other hacks are going to fail or pass before I do them. I'm going to say that this hack is probably bogus, that's my guess, but we're gonna see, and I think the salt shaker agrees because it just turned red. Red means no bueno. So first things first is we're going to remove the paper from our little Crayolas. Voila. And the second one, voila. It's very satisfying to do it this way. And off to the microwave they go. The issue with 5 Minute Crafts is they really don't give any instructions whatsoever. So you kind of have to guess what they're doing. So if they put something that looks warm, you have to guess the temperature, you have to guess the duration. So in this case, I still don't even know, if we look back at the video, how much of this I'm going to be putting in. So I think I'm just going to wing it until it just stops hardening. My guess is the entire thing. We'll see. Just to be clear, they've been in there for 2 minutes at about 15-second intervals. Let's look again. And still not melting. I don't understand. Let's try this again. In case you're wondering, I do have it on a slant so that everything is falling forward. Let's try another minute or two. Here it is after 3.5 minutes in the microwave. Not a single bit melty. Just a tiny bit over here, but you really can't see anything in terms of meltiness. So I feel like at this point, we have to do the double boiler method. I'm not happy about this at all. In case you don't know, the double boiler method is basically what I used to make the Crayola candles. So as you can see here, you have to put them in a container, and that container in some boiling water, or really hot water, until it melts. So I'm gonna do that off camera because I don't want to bore you grains, but good thing to know is that Crayola in the microwave is alive.
Eventually.
And so here we are. The color is really pretty. The blue didn't do much, but we have a very small window before it starts to solidify. So let's go ahead and put the nail polish right away. So our time here is really short. I don't want it to start solidifying because it does so very quickly. So I'm just going to pour this in here and mix right away. So let's, oh no. Yep, that's what I figured. So the temperature the temperature difference is already starting to make it chunky. Look at that. Yeah, I didn't think this was going to work, but let's just keep going. Maybe it will. I'm gonna pour the entire contents just so that you grains don't say that I gave it too much time, but I really didn't. It was literally basically from the time I turned the camera on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh goodness. That is cottage cheese Crayola here. Cottage cheese Crayola. Put a little more. Yeah. Yeah, I think I kind of guessed that one. I'm going to say that this hack is probably bogus. That's my guess. 5-minute crafts, what are you doing? Why are you gonna do this junk? It's supposed to be a new type of nail polish, and look at this gloop. Look at that. Oh no. Oh honey, no. You know, when you think about it, this texture is actually really normal. What was abnormal was the way that they did it, because let's say we're taking chocolate and we want to make it into a very melty chocolate. We have to heat it up, let it turn into liquid, and then add a lot of milk. Whereas here, even though we added a lot of nail polish, it's still in its very clunky form. But let's try anyways and see what it looks like on our nails. And yeah, I didn't think so. It just, yeah, no. I would say that this hack definitely is an absolute lie. So it goes
in the trash.
The second art hack that we're going to try, I thought was a really cool method. This here shows us that we can heat up a pan, put a piece of paper, and draw on it, and the crayons will melt. I thought that was really cool for someone who wants to do kind of paint effect without real paint and just with crayons. My biggest concern is that the pan will actually cool down before we finish our illustration. So my guess is they have probably a heated element underneath that's keeping the entire thing warm. That's my guess. So my pan has been in the oven for the last hour. Just to give you grains an idea, it's been in there for the last hour at about 375 degrees Fahrenheit, this much in Celsius. So I'm going to go ahead, take it out, and let's see if this method really does work.
A few moments later.
And here it is, but obviously if you are a younger person or someone who requires supervision, don't do this. This is hot. This could potentially be dangerous. Why do I not have someone supervising me? Because I get myself in trouble quite often. Help me. Looking back carefully at the video, I can already tell that it is fake. Look again, as soon as they take it out of the oven, they have oven mitts, but when they're putting the tape on to secure the paper, they're using their bare hands and pushing it down. I'm just putting my hand above it like this, as you can see, and it's hot. I do not want to put my full hands on there, so we're going to have to use a popsicle stick or something, at least to try and secure it. How do I do this? They use their entire hand. That is absolutely false and extremely dangerous. You can easily get third-degree burns from this, I think. Okay, it's been less than a minute, and already it's much cooler to the touch, which again means that it might be too cold to actually use the crayons. Yeah, forget it. Nothing's gonna melt on this. Let's put it in right away so you grains can see. It's legitimately only been 1 minute. Look at that. There is no melting going on. Wow, 5-minute crafts. Are you even trying? Are you even trying? Like, the second it just came out, it was hot. And by the time I just took the tape out, obviously it's cooled down to room temperature. These kinds of pans do cool down very quickly. Holy carp. Even though it's been in the oven for 1 hour. This art hack has been debunked, and it is a lie. Yep, absolutely cool to the touch. So far, 2 out of 2. That's 100% of the art hacks from 5 Minute Crafts are absolutely garbage. However, I have to say that the next one I have a little bit more hope on, even though I haven't tried it yet. I think the salt shaker also might have a little bit of hope, so it might actually change colors, but we don't know for sure. Salt shaker, how do you feel? Do you feel, yeah, okay, there's some hope. The idea of this one here is that we're taking rocks, heating them up for 15 minutes, and then using the Crayolas to melt on top. The reason I have more faith on this one is because the rocks should be able to hold on to the heat for longer periods of time. And yes, I've had them in there again for 1 hour, same amount of time as the pan. I really hope this works because the end result looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks cute. I mean, it's just a cute project. The only downside is you can't do both sides because if you try to reheat it, it's just going to melt the other side too. And of course, we have to remove the paper just so that we have no wasted time to make sure we use as much of the heat as possible. So here are our 2 hot river stones that have been baking for at least the last hour. I'm going to close up as much as possible, and we're going to just touch it with the crayon and see. Oh, what? It's just inevitable that when you start with something and it's garbage, you just end up thinking that all of them are going to be garbage. Oh my god. Grains, it works. That's insane. I mean, technically everything should have worked, but I mean, the fact that this does work is blowing my mind. Yeah, that is cute. This I like. Oh, that is so satisfying. Is the middle still warm? Yeah. Look at that. You can make some really fun effects. I wanted to add some whites here and there. It still is melting the crayons. Oh my god, let's do the second one. All right, so it's been exactly 1 minute so that I can remove the papers from the other colors that I wanted to use, and I'm going with pink and gold. Yep, it's still hot. Look at that, pink and gold and blue. Why not? I definitely feel that it's a lot less hot, and I feel like you really only have a very small window opportunity to work with here. Look at that. That is a really neat technique, and I love this. Let's get some close-up satisfying shots. So as you can see, it is really satisfying. The meltiness of it is really cute. You obviously don't have as much control because it depends on how flat your surface is. Mine are kind of slanty, so I really couldn't do any kind of straight lines. And I even went back on the first one because I was like, nah, it's ugly. Let's see if we can change it. And it was still warm enough that it actually melted the crayon. I really like the way it looks right now because it has all this swirliness to it and it looks like a galaxy. I feel like if you really wanted to make some really cool effects here, it would be really awesome. You could probably even sprinkle some glitter at this point. Because the rocks, they're going to stay hot for quite a bit. So we're going to set it aside for a couple of hours, come back to it, and then give our verdict. Because if the crayon just chips right off of it, then it's garbage. But if the crayon actually stays, then oh my god, the opportunities to play with this are amazing. Again, if you're a young person or someone who requires supervision, don't do this unless you are sure you will not get burnt. These are hot rocks. There's no other way to say it.
2 hours later.
Here we are 2 hours later with the rocks, and oh my god, they are adorable. I know these are just rocks, but it legitimately just took swirling around a crayon on a hot rock. Obviously you can't do the other side. You could probably use acrylic paint at this point, but over here it has a nice waxy texture to it, and as much as I'm pushing it, it is not cracking, it is not breaking, so it is solidly there on this rock. Same for the gold, blue, and pink. Again, really pretty. So if you have Crayolas with glitter, they would still look really cute. So this 5-minute craft really is 5 minutes, except for the heating time of the rock, which I think was 15 minutes, but I left it in there for an hour. I would say is a pass. More like success, not just a pass. It was fun, it was relaxing, and it is really pretty. This next hack seems basic enough, but my trust level in it is really low. Low enough that I'm pretty sure the salt shaker itself, oh yeah, it does not agree. Because the idea, as you can see now, is that we're going to be making designs on a shirt, and we're going to be using an open flame on the actual crayon and putting the dots and colors everywhere around the silhouette, and it's going to maintain the shape. Now the question is, are those actual crayons going to stay on the shirt itself? The answer is, I doubt it, but we'll see. So of course I do have my flame. Aw. And I did pick up a t-shirt from the dollar store that says, Mom, a title above Queen. I think moms should be called Lord Rulers. And I only picked up one shirt to do all 3 of the hacks that require t-shirts, which are the ones we're going to be looking. Oh, that is a lot of fluff. Why is there a lot of fluff? This is from the dollar store. I didn't want to create too much waste, so yes, I am only using 1 shirt for 3 hacks. That is a lot of fluff. What's going on? For this one, we're going to go ahead and take a unicorn. I'm really curious if we can get the shape. But again, I really don't think the crayons are going to stay, but I could be wrong. Obviously, don't put it in your wash. Don't do it. I'm going to say that right away. If you're going to make any of these designs, don't put it in your wash, especially if you're going to be using hot water. It's just going to melt everywhere. It's going to ruin your clothing. These should only be looked at as temporary designs. So if you wanted to do something for Halloween or even something that is disposable, don't wash them. Now I know that 5 Minute Crafts chose to take a silhouette of a heart, but these guys are amateurs. We will do something with a lot of edges. This is probably going to be a bad idea because I'm spending a lot of time, probably more than it's worth, cutting this unicorn. And it's probably not even gonna work. But we go big or go home. We're no amateurs here. We do this for real. The only difference here is I made the horn slightly thicker because I thought this was just already way too thin. Definitely prefer my unicorns thick. Horned. Thick horned. Here. Whatever you thought differently is on you. Not me, it's on you. So I think we can put it right over here, and that would be cute. Let's look at the clip again and have an idea of whether or not they're using any kind of protective gear for their hands with the open flame, and the answer is no. No protection. So let's try. Here's the flame and the crayon and here. Okay, so far, so can we do more than 1 dab? No, 1 dab per flame. So far I don't feel in danger. I do feel dangerous though. And we're going to do a mixture of blue and pink because heck, why not? It is a unicorn and I am a curious fella. Yeah, so far the process is very quick. I'm just going to, there you go, make sure it stays in place. And then I'm gonna come in with the pink. Yeah, simple process. Let's keep going. So as you can see, the process is pretty straightforward. At no point did I feel like I was in danger from the heat. So as long as you keep a good distance and your flame isn't too big. I did notice, however, that for some reason, I think the fumes in the Crayola made it so that my lighters didn't want to light anymore after a bit. So I had to switch back and forth between 2 different ones and give them a rest. I'm not sure what it is, but I've never had that happen before.
20 minutes later.
So it's been about 20 minutes. Again, 5 Minutes Craft doesn't tell us how long to wait before we can remove our stencil, and let's do so. Hopefully it works. Oh, that is just tearing. Come on, let's, okay. Yeah, no, what the heck? Did the tail just pull itself out from underneath the actual Crayola? There's our paper. I mean, it does work. I do see the silhouette, but now the question is, how well will this hold once the t-shirt actually starts stretching? So let's say you're putting the t-shirt on. Yeah, you see, it's starting to crumble and we haven't done anything. Let's say you're running. I don't know who runs like that, but let's pretend you're running. And okay, it's not too bad, but it is extremely stiff. Look at that. So unless you really want to do some kind of super temporary piece that you know you will not use past a couple of hours, the crayons and the pieces and the bits here are just coming off. I basically don't see this lasting more than that's it, just a couple of hours. Did it work? Yeah. Could you ever use that t-shirt again or wash it? No. So I would rate this trash. This next t-shirt Crayola hack has me a little intrigued because it seems like a combination of the rocks heated up environment and the first method, which is basically melted crayon. And what it shows is that instead of using a silhouette, we're doing the inverted, putting an aluminum foil on a what's the thing called? Iron board. And then melting the crayons directly on there. Now let's just pause 2 seconds because when we look at the fact that they're putting the markers, well, the crayons on there, and then they put it on the t-shirt, look at that. Pause right here. You see, as soon as they put it on top, you can see that there's white empty spots. So it does not go on smoothly. However, when they remove the iron and show us a different angle, it looks like the color has gone on smoothly. So I feel quite skeptical, again, especially because if you look at the border of this paper, it looks absolutely drenched in the crayon, but nothing is on the t-shirt. I'm pretty sure there's no stopper there. And then once we remove the sheet of paper, it should be basically whatever colors you decided to put down. So this is interesting, especially if you want a gradient or multicoloral, multicoloral? Is that a word? Multicolor effect. Multicoloral. Can we even say color? No, we can't say that. Where did I get coloral from? English #1. I can English very well. First things first, aluminum. And I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to put this like so. and just kind of scrunch it all the way around. I don't even know if this is safe, but I'm going to hope that it is. I'm doing it so that you grains don't have to. There. It's nicely firm. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good sound. Yeah. And I'm putting my ironing board to a cotton since that's the t-shirt temperature that we're going to be using. And for this image, we're going to use a cute little dinosaur. And voila. And here's our tape so nothing moves from where it should. All right, now that we're working with heat, I am standing up because I don't want to mess anything up. And we're gonna see if this were, oh, wow. Okay, I shouldn't be surprised because it is an active heat, so it should keep everything basically the same. And I am using both of the same colors that they're using, which is orange and green. Let's go a little crazy. Orange here, a little bit of green. It's probably two very pukey colors. Probably shouldn't have used these two colors, but you know what? Let's just try the same colors they did. There we go. And I'm gonna cover the entire surface just to make sure that we do catch everything, so that we don't end up with white spaces like they did off camera and then they try to patch it up. We don't do that stuff. Grains, we do it right the first time, okay? Okay. Okay, I think this is enough. Very liquidy. This is my worry, is that it's going to spill. Okay, and here we go. I have no idea how to do this. Just gonna press it on there, and that should be it. Oh no. Is there anything left? No, there's nothing left. Let's try it again. My guess is this technique probably takes some practice, but let's see what happens because it does melt. So it means that the second you put it onto your surface, it's going to melt whatever you already put down. So let's go here. And so far it's still going. I'm gonna move it closer to the edge here. Yeah, you really can't see where you're putting it. I have no idea. What if I do this? Is the t-shirt hot enough? Kind of. Oh, the t-shirt is hot enough. Look at that. I don't know if you grains can see, but the t-shirt is slightly hot enough. Okay, so let's let that cool down and see that, oh no! No, contamination, I knew it. You see, I knew this would happen. It's okay, it's okay.
20 minutes later.
All right, so it's been 20 minutes and we should be okay to remove everything. Oh, interesting. So other than the fact that we did do a bit of a mess up here, because it's hard to see where you're going, the design and layout itself kind of looks cool. There is some residual kind of leakage on the edges. I guess it's just called feathering in this case. The design itself is stiff, but look at that. It's not bulgy. It is pretty flat. Look at that. So unlike the first method where we're melting it and splotching it down kind of like wax seals, this design is absolutely flat and probably a great idea to use for costumes or something that you're going to use, again, temporarily. I would never wash this in your machine. So the question is, will it crack? And the answer is no, not as badly. You can't tell if it's cracking immediately. I don't see any cracks. I don't feel the cracks, because usually when it gets, you know the feeling when crayons crack in between your fingers and they become all crumbly? This is not the case. So I would say that this crayon hack is definitely fun. There are great ideas that can be done with it, and it's definitely going to last at least an entire day. But again, don't use it in your wash. I would give this a pass. Surprisingly, kind of like the rocks. This next t-shirt hack is more promising. I feel like it might be on the same level as the iron-on with the aluminum foil, as weird as it sounds. And as you can see, the idea is that we are coloring inside some sandpaper and then turning it around and using that as a transfer sheet. I'm not sure what the point of the sandpaper is, but I think it's just to add texture, but we'll find out. I don't think you need a stencil. In this case, I am using just a cute little heart straight onto the sandpaper. I'm going to make it a rainbow and see how well that actually translates. One of the things I forgot to mention and show you grains is that be sure to put some kind of paper underneath this because it does bleed through. Look at that. So unless you don't want it to bleed through, put a sheet of paper in between or a piece of cardboard. That way you're safe. All right, so this is pretty straightforward enough. Here's our cute little heart. We turn it around and we just keep ironing it until it transfers. And it does seem like in the video, even though they did speed it up, that they've been on it for quite some time. So I'm guessing it really wants the crayons to melt. So I think this is, we're onto something. Of course, I don't want to burn the t-shirt though. Okay, this is really hot and I feel like it's stuck on there. And Oh, yep, that's pretty transferred. And it does have that pointy texture. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, hang on. Let me show you grains a close-up. So the first thing that I noticed is that there's a yellow orangey outline around it, which is from the sandpaper. However, the texture itself is really, really cute. And it doesn't feel like it's going to fall off like this unicorn. And I'm even trying to scratch it off and it's not scratching off. That is good. And so the question is, did it work? Yes, look at that. It feels even nicer than the dinosaur print. It really feels like it's in there. Actually, did it go underneath is the other question. And the answer is no. Look at that. It didn't transfer on the layer underneath it. So this is wonderful. An absolutely great idea for a temporary design. Again, I still would not put this in the washer, especially it is crayons. It will melt. But as it is, as a project, I would say this is a success. This next crayon hack really isn't anything new, but it's something I've always been curious about and at the same time never wanted to do because I don't like wasting or ruining my only craft supplies. And the idea is that you can use a glue gun, put crayons on the inside, and make basically a dripping effect illustration. But again, I'm wondering how clean this looks. If we look back at the painting that they did, there's no leakage of the other color. It looks like every color is new. There's no mixing of, let's say if we do green and then we put the blue, and there's not like this muddiness in between. So I went to the dollar store and picked up a whole new glue gun to see if it works and whether or not you actually get some kind of leakage that ruins the glue gun and whether or not it can be used for glue after that. So there are a lot of questions in this little brain. But first, and for the purpose of this here, we're not going to make an entire painting. I just want to use the different colors that we use today to see if there's going to be any contamination. So if I do pink, will I be getting gold after I put it in? How much of it do I need to squeeze before it can be clear? Those are some important questions. And to avoid you grains saying,
"But Jackie, you're doing it wrong,"
I'm going to cut both sides into flat edges, kind of like glue gun sticks. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and feed the... Oh, why is this not going in? This is a standard crayon to a standard glue gun. Okay. All right, so the crayon is just not having it and it's not going in. So I'm just going to gently shave the sides until it is thin enough to fit. I'm pretty sure you could do a really cool project with the shavings, but for now, let's just shave it until it's slim enough to fit. So here are the 3 crayons shaved down. I'm sure you could probably get the thicker piece of the glue gun so that you can just use it immediately. But at this time, this is the only one I could find at the dollar store and cheapest. I didn't want to do something too expensive. So we're gonna put our pink in there right away. Okay, there it goes. And then we'll see whether or not there's going to be any kind of contamination and whether or not our blue will be able to function afterwards. Is this going anywhere? Oh, okay, there. Oh, it's leaking. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this as a glue gun. It's definitely leaking. And even though this is totally okay, it's not pushing it forward. Oh, there we go. What a mess. What's this? What are you? Why is this a whole chunk? What's happening here? Why is this a chunk? Okay, so we don't really have much control for obvious reasons. This is hot wax and it's just dripping and I'm pressing the button and all it's doing is the heat isn't strong enough. So it's giving me chunks. Look at that. So you can't just do this with any kind of glue gun. Oh, look at that. More chunks. It's like it's pooping crayons. And also by the time we get to the other crayon, it's already melting into the other one. So I highly doubt we're going to get any kind of pure blue. Look at that. Yeah, this is not working. I don't know how they gamed this, but I'm just going to start pushing the colors in there and see what happens. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. It's like Crayola diarrhea. Let's replay that again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so here we go with the blue and then we have more chunks. And just to be clear, my other glue gun that gave me 2nd-degree burns is also from the dollar store. I just didn't want to ruin that one because it was a really good one. And nope, it's just not heating up quickly enough. Okay, so I'm gonna push it out manually by doing this. We are getting a pure blue, but it is more... Oh no, what is that? that? What is that? No. Oh, I'm not even pressing. I'm not even pressing. No. For those of you who've tried this hack before, let me know in the comment section below. Am I truly doing it wrong? Or is there a method to doing this? Because at this time, I feel like I've just ruined this glue gun. I mean, we are getting solid colors, but at this point, the green is stuck. It's not going down. It's too waxy, too slippery, and it's just not working. For now, I'm going to give this hack a fail. The holidays are really close, and if you grains are a little stuck on that person who seems to have a little bit of everything, why not consider the gift of experience? That's why today's sponsor is Bokksu. I can't tell you grains enough how much I personally absolutely love Bokksu. I'm actually going to be gifting it myself to someone, and maybe for me too. For those of you who don't know, Bokksu is a premium Japanese snack subscription box. And it's not like all the other ones out there that just shove what's called dagashi, which is just overly sweet and sometimes just plain cheap snacks. Bokksu focuses on quality and gourmet. They also love working with companies that are well over 100 years old, established in Japan. One of my favorite snacks actually comes from one of those old school companies, which is the black sesame snack. And for those of you who are like me and you love snacks that are not too overpowering and just way too sweet and it's like, no, too much sweetness, then I feel like those of you who are like me will definitely enjoy Japanese snacks because they are subtle. So whether you're getting this as a gift for yourself or someone you know, first-time subscribers will get something called Seasons of Japan, which will include anywhere between 20 and 25 snacks that are both curated based on location and also season. So you'll have a good idea of the types of snacks you'll be getting throughout the year. And then after that, you will be getting themed snacks every month. So for example, the one I have here is Winter in Hokkaido. Let's try some snacks. Sweet corn and mochi soy sauce corn snack. Did I say corn twice? Yes, I did. Oh, what a shape. Very cute. Looks like popcorn. Oh, yes, like a corn soup. White peach mochi. Ooh, smells like peach juice. So delicate. Oh, give me a minute. You'll also get a really cool, I don't know why I love this booklet, but I do. 20-page booklet that is both cultural and descriptive of the snacks you're getting. They let you know what comes from where, whether there are common allergens, and if it's friendly to vegetarians. Pat and I personally appreciate the common allergens because he is pretty allergic to quite a few things. Let's share a snack with him. Here you go, Pat. Hokkaido potato.
Thank you. Ooh, smells so nice.
Pat approved.
So good.
So check the link in description box below to get 10% off, that's up to $47, using the code NERDYCRAFTER10. Thank you Bokksu for sponsoring today's video. Let me know in the comment section below what other hacks from 5-minute crafts would you like me to try that I can debunk. I know there's quite a few resin ones, and a lot of them look very questionable. If you want to watch more Crayola type videos, make sure you check up here, and if you want to watch a cash or trash, make sure you check down here. Until then, I will see you grains in the next video.